Welcome back to Street Beat. Troubled teens, filled with anger, find it difficult to express themselves in a constructive way. Writer and musician Mike Ball, the founder of Lost Voices, goes behind bars to help these kids find a positive outlet. Welcome to Street Beat, Mike.
Thank you very much.
I am so impressed with your organization. The work you guys are doing is phenomenal. I mean, taking these ideas and these thoughts of these young teens and putting them in music, in songs, in a positive way. Tell us more about Lost Voices.
That's the most important thing I've ever been involved with. We started this whole thing about 7 years ago. I was asked to go out. I write a syndicated humor column for a living, and I was asked to talk to a bunch of incarcerated kids about what it's like to make your living as a writer. The first contact I ever had with troubled youth like this, I have a son who's fortunately never got in trouble. He's 30 years old now. But I looked at these children, and they're children. They're convicted felons. Yeah. They've been in things that I can't even imagine. But they're children, and they're no different from yours and mine. So I started working with them. I first started doing creative writing workshops, and with some support from the National Endowment for the Arts through Michigan Humanities Council. And I immediately decided we needed to bring music into this picture. So I hooked up with Josh White Jr., a man who's been an idol of mine since I first started learning to play the guitar, Reverend Robert Jones, Kitty Donahoe, and started doing these songwriting workshops with the kids. And as you say, it's just been phenomenal.
Why is it so important to give these young kids an outlet to express themselves, and why is music, the best way to do that?
Well, music hath charms,
And they love music.
They do, they do. And what's fun is that they don't know anything about the kind of music we work with. We do folk and blues music, which brings a whole new parameter to it. What's important, I think, these kids, their lives have been a transaction. They've spent their entire lives just trying to survive. And whether it's sex or drugs or violence, the things that they've had to work their way through are unforgiving. And very few people, I think, my experience has been, they've almost never been asked, how do you feel? What do you really think? I care about what you feel.
Okay.
So when we allow them to take their feelings and put them in music, and then we put them on stage, where they'll pour their hearts out, and it's just incredible what they will reveal. And then get this, the first time in their lives, it plants a seed.
And allows them to release all of that frustration that's built up in them over the years.
Exactly.
And I actually saw a video that you all produced that's on your website, lostvoices.org. Tell us about that, and how did that all come about?
Well, there's actually two videos. One is a 3-minute piece that a PBS crew did. They filmed us down at the Adrian Girls Training School and show the actual program. So if you go to lostvoices.org, you can view that and get a real good firsthand look at the kids and the kind of responses and how the program works. The other video is a thing called Young Poet Incarcerated that I produced, just using the poetry of one of the kids that I worked with, ultra-violent offender. He's a very violent kid, but he was allowed to tell his story in his poetry, and it's a very moving experience to watch that.
Well, tell us a little bit about the feedback you're getting from doing this, and the positive response that it's also having on teens that just watch and view it.
Well, that's a very good point. First, sadly for us as an organization, we're a 501c3, so we're looking for grants and that sort of thing, and we can't do metrics on the kids. We can't track them since they're wards of the state.
Okay.
Once they leave the program, we can't keep in touch with them. So we don't have recidivism and that sort of thing that we can look at. But the feedback, probably the best thing is that every time we do a program, a kid comes up and gives me a hug and says, "I'll never forget this."
Yeah, that alone right there just warms my heart. Just thinking about it, just tell us if any of our viewers would like to get involved. How can they get involved?
Well, go to lostvoices.org. We have a fundraiser coming up on October 6th, Saturday, October 6th, featuring Josh White Jr. His father wrote the version of House of the Rising Sun we're familiar with, and Josh has been a touring star since the 60s. He's one of my early idols. Reverend Robert Jones, brilliant blues man. Kitty Donahoe, she's a Celtic singer-songwriter. Me, and you'll get a sample of what I do a little bit later. Jen Cass, she's a wonderful singer-songwriter. Mustard's Retreat, they're a folk duo that are just, that you have to see. And then Peter Madcat Ruth, who frequently plays with me and has been with us. He's one of the best harmonica players in the world. All of these people on one bill. Advanced ticket sell is $20. It's going to be at Washtenaw Community College.
Okay.
If someone came to that concert, they will get a clear picture of what Lost Voices do. They will have financial help is really the main thing we need. And they will get a really wonderful evening of entertainment.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we're going to get a clear picture of what you guys do, because in our next segment, you're going to be performing some of the songs that were written, and yes, I know it's just going to bless all of our viewers, so just stay here, okay?
Thank you.
For more information, visit lostvoices.org. Now, coming up next, Mike will share some of the wonderful songs his students have written when Street Beat returns. Don't go away. Welcome back to Street Beat. I'm here with Mike Ball of Lost Voices, and Mike has found one of the voices of one of the troubled teens in his organization. And tell us about how this song was inspired and came about.
Well, this song is actually written by a group of 9 kids. It was the first program we did. We asked them what they were thinking about, and some of the things they're thinking about you don't really want to know. But they were really concerned about choices. They were incarcerated for bad choices. When you get out, you start making choices again, some of them after several years. So they created a character named Eddie who has to make choices. It's called Eddie's Choice.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Eddie's gone tonight at midnight. About to kick him out that door. Eddie's gone tonight at midnight. About to kick him out that door. Got a sweatshirt, shoes, and blue jeans, a plan and nothing more. Well, in and out of locked doors, same old song and dance. He said, in and out of locked doors, same old song and dance. This time's got to be different, ain't going to be another chance. On his way down to the bus stop, he sees a gnarled and dusty man. On his way down to the bus stop, he sees a gnarled and dusty man. He's got nothing on his mind now but sticking to his plan. That old man says to Eddie, kick back and rest your feet. Got some things to say, and I've been saving you a seat. In and out of locked doors, same old song and dance. This time's got to be different, ain't going to be another chance. Well, mister, you don't know me. I've been preached to all of my life. I said, mister, you don't know me. I've been preached to all of my life. Until you've been locked up, you'll never know just what it's like. That old man smiled and said, I walked some miles in your shoes. Waited all the hard way, now all I have is blues. In and out of locked doors, same old song and dance. This time's got to be different, ain't going to be another chance. Eddie's ride pulls up, he starts to walk away. Eddie's ride pulls up and he starts to walk away. With his hand on the car door, he stops and looks the old man's way. And he says, same old song and dance. He says, in and out of locked doors, same old song and dance. This time's got to be different, ain't going to be another chance.
Mike, what a wonderful song. That was awesome. Now,
Thank you
you're going to share with us another song that was written, and the words were inspired by one of your troubled teens. Tell us a little bit about this next song.
Well, this one was also a group song. This one was inspired by the kids seeing and hearing the story of the young Chinese guy in Tiananmen Square staring down the tank and standing in front of it, knowing that at any second they could pull the trigger and that'd be it. The courage of that young man inspired the kids to write this song.
Okay, Mike's going to take us out with that song, and we want you to tune in on tomorrow at 5 a.m. and watch First Forecast Morning. So, Mike, take us out, okay?
Thank you, sir. I am a student in Tiananmen Square, standing for the rights of helpless people everywhere. With a cannon in my face, but no hatred in my eyes, I will hold this ground for liberty, even if I die. What's it gonna take? How many lives? How many voices left unheard? How many tears? How many years? Until the ones in power hear the word. I am an immigrant in the USA. Though I try to work, I am offered little pay. I may speak another language, but still I understand that everywhere I go, I'm seen as less than a man. What's it gonna take? How many lives? How many voices left unheard? How many tears? How many years? Until the ones in power hear the word. I am a black man in the East Detroit streets, trying to find the courage to throw away my heat. It's time to put an end to the gangs. It's time to make a change, because this life of violence I must rearrange.